And Max, you need to choke the chicken or something. Do something with the bird. I see we've got some folks from Columbus here, some councilmen and the mayor.
Can you take the battery out?
Is that your chicken? I'd like to tell you how the Secretary of State's office impacts your communities, for your councilmen and for your mayors. Obviously in several ways. One of the most important is through elections. And I'm a proponent of voter ID. Most recently, I worked for the new president of Mississippi State University in his office doing government relations. And I remember getting off the elevator one day and seeing students in line with picture IDs, swiping them through a laptop and voting. Men, women, white, black, Hispanic, didn't matter. Everyone got along, the process worked. And I think it's high time that we as a state show the rest of the country that we can come together, we can be progressive. So I certainly support the concept of voter ID. Also, I think the Secretary of State needs to work a little closer with the circuit clerks. They recommended a different voting machine than the one that was chosen, and you saw the issues that we have with our voting machines. And I think it's very important, I felt this as mayor, that you need to work with the people on the front lines of the issues, and not only get their input, but when you can follow it. And I think that's important for the Secretary of State. Also, the Secretary of State is your first point of contact with businesses that will be located in the state. We are blessed in the Golden Triangle to have quite a bit of economic development going on. $1 billion investment in a steel mill, several quarter. We also have American Euro Copper and several other industries in the area. That wasn't done because I was mayor. That was done because we as a team, from our congressional delegation to the governor's office, MDA, our supervisors, the councilman and the mayor worked together to make these happen. And I would like to use the experiences I've had in dealing firsthand with these industries to help them create opportunities in other parts of the state. And what's good about that, it doesn't just create wealth for the workers in the industry. This is money that trickles back to your community through sales tax and real estate transactions and the money turning over. So when I see economic development, I don't think just buildings and people working. I think better roads, I think better schools, I think better parks for our children. And I think the Secretary of State can help lead the charge in continuing this wonderful economic development movement we're having in the state. Also, many of you deal with 16th section land issues, and you may know that Columbus went all the way to the Supreme Court fighting the Secretary of State's office on the 16th section land issue. Brings in over $50 million a year to our public schools, and that's wonderful. I am a child of public schools. My father taught in public schools, and I'm a big public school supporter. At the same time, I don't know if we're doing enough when we look at how we manage our 16th section land. We have school board members that come on with very diverse backgrounds, but not necessarily much of a forestry background or a timber background. They need to be better educated, and I think we need to look at, where possible, developing 16th section land. I think you can get a lot more out of your value in the land if you have people working and they're paying ad valorem tax. You can give an exemption on the factory equipment, but the school taxes have to be paid. And I think that might be a smart way to generate even more money for our public schools. And finally, for those of you who are here, I see Pascagoula on the coast. The Secretary of State manages your tidelands. And I had met with the Secretary of State's office down here. I had met with the Department of Marine Resources. Actually, I had a bit of a Don King hairdo today because I was on a boat touring the tidelands. And I met with the public lands trust folks here. And I think it's very important that we find and strike the balance between things that bring wealth to your community and things that preserve the things that make your community unique. Obviously here, we have such wonderful, abundant natural resources, such as they need to be preserved. I was the Mississippi Wildlife Federation Conservation Communicator of the Year, and I will certainly keep those values in mind as I work as Secretary of State issues on the coast. So I appreciate your time, I appreciate your support, and as a former MML member, God bless you for serving on the front lines of elected office. Thank you all very much.